And you're still
I don't have.
Welcome back, gamers, to the Experience Points podcast, and this is the Pre-Endwalker episode 36. We are very excited about it. There is no video playing on the screen tonight because I had nothing caught up to play. Although I am playing Final Fantasy 14 right now.
welcome back.
But thank you, appreciate it. But there is some awesome Stormblood music playing in the background. I found a Stormblood OST and it's cycling through as we speak, so listen out for that. Anyway, tonight, since Jones is the expert, Blackout is one of our experts that's going to talk about their excitement for Endwalker tonight. I'm also joined by Kim the Great.
Hello.
You know, Kim, I have been listening to all our episodes since day one, and you have been consistent with that opening of yours, with that greeting of yours.
I am very consistent.
And we're also joined by Kevin, aka Alistair, aka Celia. That's right.
Hello.
But tonight I'm not going to be hosting. I'm going to be sitting in and kind of listening a little bit. But our host tonight is going to be Blackout. So take it away, Jones.
Yeah.
Warning.
All right. So tonight we will be discussing our pre-Endwalker prediction.
Also, too, just before I forget, I do apologize. I'm sorry, Jones, to cut off your hype there. But we only got about 45 minutes for tonight's episode. So the timer starts.
You better ring a buzzer when it's over there.
I will chime you in the chat. So there you go.
Also, huge spoiler warning, forewarned for any listeners.
Okay, hit it.
Alright, so as you know, in a matter of days, we will be entering the Endwalker early access for anybody who pre-order, which is like 99% of the people. But the question that remains, there's a lot of questions, but let's start off with the simple one. Why do you think we are going to the moon?
It's obvious we're going to the moon because that's where Zodiac is.
Okay, that's logical, but are you sure?
Yeah, because they've said many times that that's where Zodiac is. Even the Ashians have stated in the MSQ that Zodiac is on the moon. That's where he was. Okay. That's where he was sealed.
Not to mention all the cutscenes that have shown them standing there.
I mean, fine, okay, fine. Let me reiterate this. Why is Zodiac on the moon?
Because that's where he was sealed.
Why is he sealed on the moon?
We don't know. We don't know. Maybe to keep him off the planet, so it'd be harder for somebody to go and revive him.
He's banished to being a punk ass.
Already freaking shattered him into 13.
I mean, why was Bahamut sealed inside of a big ass moon and then launched into space?
Because Alex is weird like that.
Actually, that's because the Alligans were using that moon as an energy receptor. They were draining it and sending it down, and that's how they powered their whole civilization.
Well, you just answered your own question. Why would you even ask?
I wanted to see if you knew.
Well, I knew. Yeah, I did know. I'm the focus, so I would have to ask. So, anyways, okay, fine then.
I do have a theory regarding Zodiac.
Okay.
So, and I said this months ago, and I even mentioned it to one of the streamers that I watch, because it was one of the guys that had just got through and got to the end. You know, there was one of the new players, and he was theorizing that we're gonna get to the moon, and we're gonna find out that we need to side with Zodiac. and that we need to make things happen. You know, the way the Ashkins were trying to make it happen. But my theory is we're not going to side with Heidelin. We're not going to side with Zodiark. My theory is the whole end of this is that two become one. Heidelin and Zodiark are going to fuse, basically. I think that they are the same entity, but sundered. I think when the ideals of the Ashians in the past, when their ideals split, and the Lahabrea and them summoned Zodiark, I think it split the god or whatever. So I think that they're gonna end up like joining.
That's a good theory. I can go along with that. Kim, do you have anything to add to this?
Not to the lore. I'm not as well versed, I should say, in that. The only prediction I have is I would be surprised if somebody didn't die by the end of it. I hope nobody does.
Someone predicted all platinum-haired scions are gonna die.
I heard something like that. So I guess we'll move on to the next question then. What are your predictions on who lives and who dies?
Well, I think that trailer that they showed where it has Alphino at the end giving his speech, I think that is a red herring, and they're catfishing, making you think, because his little speech makes it sound like he's gonna sacrifice himself. And while I think that it's possible, because Final Fantasy developers hate twins, I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't think that Ishtola will have. I mean, she's already died twice. Quote, died twice.
Yeah.
So I think to do that again a third time would be kind of monotonous. Like, yeah. Well, we just saw this last expansion. At least wait a couple expansions before you fake kill her again. I've heard some theories that maybe nobody will die, but that like Alphino will become like the leader of Charlayan, and take over. But a lot. I think some people are hoping that like 6.1 is going to bring like a time lapse, and that we'll get introduced to like a new group of characters to do stuff with.
Interesting.
Yeah. I really hope that's the case because I'm really tired of seeing Alisaie and Alphino like so little stuff. Like I wish they would have them age already.
So what you're saying is that you want people to have horrible fan art of grown Alisaie being their mommies. That's what it sounds like you're basically saying. You want mommy Alisaie.
What the?
Mommy Alisaie.
Well, you know what I was getting at, but since we are I think what is our rating? Are we PG? Are we?
Nope, it is XXX. You can say whatever you want. But real quick, I have not been on here. I've been not listening because I don't spoil it. But I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
Is it stuck on Final Fantasy?
No. Isn't Regular's Reach just basically the Cloud Village from Naruto? Because it's like all black people. I'm waiting for old boy to jump out and be like, "You fool!" No,
it is okay. Like this.
Start rapping everything.
Exactly. I'm waiting for that to happen.
Alameda does in fact have what you have the Highlander rank, which is like the highest, but it's like the the buffer, bigger human race basically.
Every single person has been black. There's not one white person here. And I even talked to an NPC about a white person that was like, "No, you can't do that. There's no white people here. And you're lucky to be here because you're a dragon, so you're fine. But if I was white, I would be in trouble."
Okay, well, fine. There are a couple of white people in the Cloud Village too, so I guess fine. We're all good reason to be the Cloud Village. Moving on.
Lise is very lucky that she's here. Okay, back to your conversation. Bye.
Oh God. Okay, where were we at? We were talking. All right, the science. So basically, Kim wants to a time jump where like Alisaie and Alphino aren't like kids anymore, And then I was basically making the joke that, that means that you'll have full fetish Alipay stuff happening for real since she's legal now.
Yeah, because
But anyway,
I think from ARR to the end of Shadowbringers is like only like a year, maybe 2 years at most has passed.
it's not even 2 years. Honestly, it feels like
Yeah.
like 6 months or maybe a year.
I think it's just a year, roughly.
Bro, they're just ending wars and all kinds of shit in just a short period of time.
Yeah, it's a very
Well,
fast-paced
right.
stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because
Okay.
everybody calls Alice their waifu, and I'm like, she's 16 years old.
Yeah,
But calm yourself down.
So you
That's
want
like
the
what
time
we
skip
need.
so they get older, so you don't feel cringe when somebody sexualizes one of them?
I'm still gonna
That's
feel
what it
cringe.
sounds like.
I'll still always
That's what it
remember.
sounds like to me. That's why
But no,
I said
it's just that
Alice.
their height doesn't match their. It just seems like they should be taller, and
Well, mentally they're older.
yeah, mentally they're like.
They're at least legal because they were in the first for like at least I think the Alice was there for like a year and she was like the last
Yeah.
one to win.
Yeah, Alpha Noah is technically older than her mentally now. And we don't even talk about Graha Tia's age. She's like what, 700?
More than that. I mean, that may have been in the future, and then you just got everything illegal.
Well, that's
Not
just
even
the
a
memories,
favorite
though, right?
body. Man, it counts. You've got the experience. So here's my theory. I honestly think that not only will no Scion die, and yes, I do completely feel that they're just trying to, troll people with that Alpha line, like, they just take it out of context or something. But I actually think that we will see a return of a Scion that everybody's been thought was dead. That's right.
You mean Louis
about
Law?
your boy. No, I'm talking about your boy Papalilo. The Louis Law 2.0.
Disney
Because
Plus,
they
Hulu,
made it
and
look like he
ESPN
did the
Plus
exact
now
same
bundled
thing, but
together
we
with the
haven't
greatest
seen
stories and
anything
characters
from him
and tons
since
of
then.
shows and
I mean,
movies
maybe he's
and
a prime,
exclusive sports.
but
Disney
regardless,
Plus,
I
Hulu,
feel
and
that we will see a
ESPN Plus.
return of him. I
Get
guess
the
I won't
Disney
necessarily
bundle
say he's
today.
alive, but we will see a return of him before the end of Endwalker. I
kind of feel. I mean that's feasible, but I kind of feel that like a return of Louis Law as Phoenix would be more believable.
I understand what you're saying, but I mean, I want to just believe that we put it into that particular story when we get the binding quote behind it. I mean, I completely understand what you're saying. It would make a lot of sense, but I mean, let Louis Saul rest. We brought him back once. I mean, like, if Happen Nemo had happened at the very end of Heaven's War, we didn't see anything or, hardly even a mention of it after the fact. So I think this would be like the perfect time where he's just like, oh, by the way, like, I don't know what form of contact, it might even be on the moon, but I just feel that he's gonna make his grand return. I just feel that would make more sense. But that's just my theory. But yeah, I don't think any Scions will actually die. If anybody dies, it might be Garaf. But I don't really think he's gonna die either. I don't think anybody's gonna actually die. And with that being said, let's move on to the next question. And what was that question? I forgot right now, so give me a second. You have any ideas, Kevin?
I do have that fun theory that I shared with you that one time, where I still believe this is kind of true, but I don't know if it'll ever be announced as like canon. Is that whenever you fight a primal or a primal appears, or whenever something Heidelin related appears, they have a song that plays, and I still think that's like the same as in Final Fantasy X with the hymn of the faith.
Yeah. That is a very intriguing theory.
And I think somewhere it has been said that if you hear Susan Calloway singing in a song, then that's actually the voice of Heidelin singing. So that's actually like Heidelin singing the Dragon War song and stuff like that, basically telling the story.
Yeah,
but that'd be kind of cool if the Lady of Light, because it's said that the Lady of Light is actually Heidelin's heart. The way that Elidibus, Zodiac's heart, which means that she would be the voice of Hydaelyn, like the more so than Nymphilia ever could have been.
The true voice.
That'd be cool if she was like voiced by Susan Calloway, but I don't think she is.
That'd be interesting, yeah. So that was actually going to be my next topic. So about the Lady of Light. Besides the fact that we pretty much kind of already observed that she's going to be like the heart of Hydaelyn, what role do you think she will play?
Guide.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah,
she's gonna be a guide. She's gonna be a guide and a key to us seeing the stuff from the past. Because one thing they pointed out that I've seen on other videos that have pieced apart, like the most recent trailer that came out with that last live letter, is that when it shows the end of days, the original end of days with the ancients, or I guess no, I can't call them unsundered because that was pre-sundered anyways. But anyways, like they still have the robes on, but their face and their heads have actual like features. It's not just a mask.
Yeah.
And so I think she's going to be the one that that helps us see those. Though some people do say that they think that Emmett Selch is going to come back. That he's not truly dead.
I've been
hope so. He can do
for a while.
One of the things that they say is because in that last trailer he has some lines in there that don't show up in Shadowbringers. But that could be an Echo flashback.
I was thinking that too. But remember, here's the thing that's always been getting at me. Remember at the end of Stormblood, like one of the last cutscenes before he actually leaves to go to the first, remember Varys Galvus left.
Oh yeah, clones, right? Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah, the clones. They never did anything with it, but he was actually seemed pretty pleased that he made those clones. So what if there's a chance he left like a part of him to like inhabit those clones?
I thought that as well. That it was possible. That even to go further than that, that the one that we dealt with in the first was actually a clone that only had a part of him in there.
Yeah, I was thinking that could be possible too.
Or that or that like our way of killing the Ascians isn't like a permanent, because don't we just seal them in a crystal, or do we destroy the crystal as well?
I don't know whatever actually happens to the crystal, but like even when you put that point, there like Laha Brea's death is even less finite since it was killed by a primal, basically. So I don't know how to explain his death at all. Like I just feel like
I think Laha Brea is just dead.
Yeah,
but I think any of the Ascians, unless those, and I'll see this again when I go through the MSQ more with Celia to be reminded of it. But if the crystals aren't shattered and they are killed permanently like that way, then I think that if the crystals are what I'm thinking is like a storage for them, then maybe breaking them would release them, and they would be able to like jump because of how powerful they are.
Yeah, I really can't remember, because the only ones who ever actually sealed in the crystal was Iggy, whatever, and she wasn't even a fully she was sundered, so she wasn't even a full powerful Ascian.
Yeah, you noticed in that trailer, kind of moving on to new topic in a way, but Fandaniel, him. Like in the MSQ, he just wants things to burn. He's basically the Joker of the Ascians. Yeah. Right.
Chaos. Mm-hmm.
But in that most recent trailer, he says, "Can't we just bring everything back to the way it was?" So basically, he was speaking like the previous, like the Unsundered had been talking. So. The theory is that he's either lying about wanting to see the world burn and just playing to Xenos's desire for chaos. Just as an ends, just a way to make things progress.
A means
Or-
to an end, yes.
A means to an end, or he's like talking to Zodiark and lying to Zodiark to get what he wants from that end. See what I'm saying? Because Zodiark is going to be hard programmed to rescue all those people, the unsundered and stuff. Because that's what he's programmed as a primal.
Yeah, he's definitely a wild card. That's Van Daniel. But I don't really know. I don't trust him either way. But we'll see what happens. And also, if you remember, they mentioned the Dreamer. Who do you think the Dreamer is? They mentioned in one of those last cutscenes.
The
Like,
Dreamer.
What do you think it is? Yeah,
It's either going to be Zodiark or Heidelin, I would think, because both of them are kind of sleeping in a way.
but they made it sound more like. I mean, it doesn't seem like they should have that much power over Zodiark. If he is the almighty original primal and everything, I would figure that a second-rate Ancian wouldn't really be able to control it, and definitely not Xenos. So I'm just confused with that.
But at this point, we don't really know exactly to the full extent of how primals work. I mean, yeah, we know that they have their own wills, and they can basically make slaves out of. They overpower you and make you a slave, basically. But like, we don't know how they are with people that already have like the Echo or have any higher force of will. But yeah, I could see. I see what you're saying though.
Yep.
But I'm kind of wondering if Zodiark is just gonna have like that one-track mind of, saving them, so he's more susceptible to lies in a sense.
That's quite possible. That's a good theory. Kim, do you have anything thrown in? I know you've been kind of quiet over there. I gotta make sure.
No, I've been kind of just listening. I don't really have a whole lot of valuable input to that, but I do kind of agree in the sense that, like, I have no idea what to expect with Zodiark. And you are right in the fact that he's kind of a wild card.
Yeah.
Kind of like Fandaniel, except for the fact Fandaniel is just kind of a psychopath. And he just wants everything to burn to the ground.
That's how we think that it is.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go with a simpler, a fun theory. How do you think we're going to get to the moon?
One theory I thought was, or what I saw was, that we are the key, possibly, and being in that one scene in the trailer where we're look like we're passed out and slumped over on that throne, and Xenos is there. One theory I heard is that Xenos is going to use us as the path to the moon. I kind of feel like the Tower of Zot might be the key part of it, though, because the Tower of Zot in Final Fantasy IV was the Tower of Babylon. It was the Babylon Tower, basically, and that was technically the key to teleporting. I think Golbez used the tower to teleport to the moon, where the main characters had to use the ship because it was locked off to them after. If I remember that correctly. My Final Fantasy IV lore is a little old, but that's how I remember it.
I believe that is the case because, they did not. They had a path they could take, and, so you went that way too. While we had to go like some petty fools on a spaceship.
I'm kind of feeling that the moon might not be the end area. There was something that I think it might be like one of the early ons. It just kind of feels that way just because, I don't know. There was something that Yoshi P said in one of the interviews for the media tour. I think it was where and I'm not even gonna go and look for it. This is just something that I remember, and it just made it sound like you're going to be surprised about like what areas you go to and in what order they appear. It sounded like.
Well, they've already made it clear, like in the story, that Charlene is first. I feel like we know that.
Yeah, Charlene is first.
And then whatever is going to be the second area, most likely.
You think Tavnera is going to be the second area?
Second or third, yeah. It's going to be one of the earlier ones.
I feel like Garlemald will be before the moon.
I think Garlemald will actually be the last. Oh no, because I think we'll end up going.
No, that
go to the moon.
That floating, the one that you call the Kingdom of Zeal, that's going to be the last area. I feel that's going to be the last area because they've been the most secretive about that area, and they say that even showing actual gameplay of that area is like more spoiler free than the rest.
Oh damn!
And plus, they do love their floating islands.
Who doesn't love a floating island?
Somebody who's afraid of heights.
Heights, schmites. It's magic.
I will say, the first time we were on the Sea of Clouds, I was very relieved to know you can't actually fall off the islands.
Dude, I thought you could fall too, to be perfectly honest. Well, not to the point of falling, but I mean, like, it does feel like you might be able to fall over, like, from one of the higher ones to the lower one. It's like, oh, damn.
I literally feel a physical feeling in my chest, like
it is true though. Kim is like that. It's kind of funny because when I'm playing Genshin and I go to a really high area and then I just jump off, she's like, "Oh, I can't watch that."
Oh wow!
And every time, even doing a leap of faith, and I fall or I come close to it, like my heart stops for like a second, and I'm just like it's actually a physical sensation I feel.
Never give this woman VR.
Yeah, no, I mean, oh man.
So Kim, you don't believe that we're gonna get to the moon by going a giant jump puzzle?
By what?
A giant jump of faith, a leap of faith to the moon.
Giant jump puzzle.
That'd be awesome. And it starts in Kugane.
Just like it never just a super high jump puzzle. Hey, to be fair, that in the Ruby Sea, we don't know how tall that tower goes.
Well, yeah, it has 100 floors. I mean, yeah, that's 100 floors. Well, we'll just go with that.
I still think it's going to be the Tower of Zot is going to be the key for the moon. I think it's going to have like a power to it or something, and I think that we are basically the ignition key for it because of us being Heidelin's chosen. You know.
So basically, Xenos is going to drug us and then use us to open the way. I got you.
Yep. Don't drink any of the drinks he offers. You're going to get roofied.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with
that's happened to us before, you know.
Yeah,
and if we fall for it a second time,
shame on us. Okay, so let's have a funner question. Do you think it's gonna be how well do you think the servers are gonna keep up at the start of Endwalker? Will we have another Pippin, Raubon, Savage, and Pippin Extreme? Or do you think
I remember that.
No, I think they learned their lesson from that and probably going to take precautions.
I do think that there's going to be slower login times, but I don't think it's going to be that bad, like enough to really ruin your day.
Yeah, I think
Shadowbringers didn't have the same issues as Stormblood.
The only thing I would say, but then again, like. Shadowbringers didn't experience a huge ass population boom the way Endwalker is going to be going through. But the thing, a lot of that population, you got to remember, a lot of that population is still like not even completely at Endwalker yet. Like just looking at our free company, you know, not everybody that joined our free company, you know, brand new, is ready for Endwalker, and at that point, some of them are still like working through Endwalker yet, or even like or they're still working through Shadowbringers, or they're in Stormblood. But that being said, I think that if there's any like early on instances that have to be done, like instance fights where it's solo for us, since those are on like separate servers. in a way, that might be because that's across the data center. Those instances, even the solo ones, like you do the Paladin quest line and you do a solo instance. Those instances are data center based, so you have to actually share it. And that was the.
I was going back to what you were saying, like because back when Realbound Savage was broken, I couldn't even do my like level 62 Black Mage quest because it was also an instance, and I was like, oh man. Okay,
we just have to stand in line and wait.
No, see, that's the worst part. Not only are you standing in line to wait, but then even if you're lucky enough to get into the instance, and then you wait through that long ass cutscene, then you just get booted at the end. It's depressing.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Well, kind of two questions, but I guess the most important one is: do you guys know what job you guys are going to take through, or jobs plural? Because I usually take 3 jobs through at the same time.
Summoner through MSQ.
Experience points at you.
I'm doing Black Mage through MSQ, and I'm leveling Paladin through Roulette. That's already my plan.
I'm doing Summoner through MSQ and either probably Dark Knight or Gunbreaker through roulettes and stuff, or Samurai. I know the MSQ is going to be Summoner because I want to see how this is.
Black Mage just because I don't feel like waiting for a year to get any kind of queues. And then what about you?
I think for me, it's going to be, I think it goes without saying, Dancer and Gunbreaker. But for my healer, I think I want to level up Sage first. Otherwise, I would want to say White Mage because I feel more comfortable as White Mage. But I think I want to take Sage through. So I think that might be my first 3. Because when I finished Shadowbringers, I did Machinist and Paladin and White Mage at the same time. And I had them all at 80 as I was doing the final quest. So I kind of wanted to do one of each.
I'll probably level up Reaper.
To try to do it like that.
I'll probably level up Reaper and Boja.
I'm going to try it at some point, but like right now I'm just focusing because I have to double duty it because I also have to do Leanna. But basically my goal is to get my Black Mage and Paladin 90 on Link, and then I got to try to level up my Gatherers and Crafters. But while I'm doing that, I'll also do the story with Leanna on Scholar most likely. I don't know. No, I'm probably do a DPS. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but Scholar's gonna be one of the first jobs that Leanna has because I still consider myself a Scholar main on her.
Speaking of crafters, are they still gonna keep the firmament going for a little bit? For turning into
firmament's never gonna go away. It's permanent.
Oh, it's permanent. Okay, good.
I know that's permanent, but I don't know if they're gonna keep.
I think what they'll do.
I don't know if they're gonna have the the little fake. I'm sorry, the fake. However you say the fakes in the bootleg feet. However they do it, that little stupid Pokemon thing going on. I think my
theory for the fates are that they might go away, but they'll be replaced with something similar. Because that's a good way for people to get rewards, and they probably want to keep that stuff active since it's so beneficial for crafters and gatherers.
And the items that you get are pretty good. They're pretty cool.
And because if you think about it, they would have to. There would be the dyes, the mounts, all that stuff that you get using that currency. They would have to either retire it all and piss off a lot of people, or they would have to allocate it elsewhere. And then of course what would happen to Diadem would have to go through yet another makeover.
Yeah, Diadem has been saying so many content changes.
It's like on its third form basically.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like this is its final form. So and they're not the developers aren't really ones to take content out, but evolve it and allocate it and use it elsewhere.
Plus, there's like a dozen achievements that you can only get based on the diadem, like those mounts, and they would really piss off some people if they changed how you got that stupid pterodon mount.
Oh my god, yeah, the 50,000 whatever for every single job. Basically,
which,
you
by
have
the
to
way,
actually have no life whatsoever. Or
yeah,
be able to bot. Just bought
I
it.
think I have one friend who actually has that thing because, like, I literally just never see them out of the diadem. Even after they got them out, I think they're just always in the diadem. I don't really talk to them too often. I actually just met them one time and like they friended me because they thought I was a nub crafter, even though I really wasn't. Yeah, actually, I don't know if that was it, but I was like staring at their gear. It was a female character, and you know I am a female character. Because I don't give a male.
All right, this is the 10-minute warning, folks.
Okay. Oh, okay, let's move on to the next thing. Housing. Do you think? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so just 10-minute warning.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll be back in 5.
Okay. So housing. Do you think it's a good idea, a completely good idea, to make it lottery exclusive?
Well, they're still gonna. They're still talking. They said there's still gonna be a free for all, like a first come first serve wards as well. But I think this is a good thing because there are so many people that have a hard time getting houses, and there's just this is gonna really help purge the bot usage. I feel.
Yeah, the bot thing is a little bit overdone, and it really puts people at an unfair disadvantage.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like I was cheering when I saw that screenshot on Facebook where they literally, you talked about it yesterday, Kim, where they literally just sent the retainer right in front of the bot. They just kept on buying rubbers and stuff for like 2 million gil each.
Yeah, me and Kim were talking about that, and we're like, while we hope that it was real and that it actually did happen, it still seems kind of suspicious. Like it could have been staged. But we're really
real. I think it's actually real because it's not the first time I've heard that story happen. Like I've heard somebody say it happened like 2 years ago, and it was hilarious then. It's hilarious now.
It almost makes me want to do that because since I can still transfer, it almost makes me want to do that if I know somebody's botting, just to be able to try to take advantage of them.
But the problem is you have to beat them in the process, and that that mechanic's really gonna be gone by 5 days.
Well, I'm transferring.
Well, you guys are gonna, if you guys do that house thing, you can have Eric let the house go for a little bit, but then you got to worry about people that have that are able to transfer just like you can.
I will be ninja climbing so fucking fast, you don't even know.
We don't play with mansions, sir. We do not play with mansions. That's all I'm gonna say about that. No.
Just see if there's a small. See if there's a small you could transfer to real quick.
The only way I would do it is if I saw a small available, and I went up on it and transferred before Eric and I do our thing, and then I would do it. But even then, I'm just kind of like, no, I'm just kind of taking a chance. You know, what if nothing happens and I just threw away Gil for no reason? And doesn't seem worth it.
Yeah, it ain't worth it in my opinion. I mean, plus I got more Gil than that.
The payout would be really sweet.
At least it's only. it only costs $3 million.
Anyway,
I'll spot you the $3 million if I get a portion of the Gil you get from it.
But anyway, so here's my thing. I think I'll admit that the lottery thing is good to a degree, but I disagree with the fact that people who already have a house can't bypass, the unwaiting thing. Like I feel that if you have a house already, you should at least have the priority over people who don't have a house when it comes to transferring to a plot that's not yet available.
Well, and I wonder if the reason why they stopped doing that is because you have people selling their houses.
Yeah,
on the side.
Yeah.
And then now I know that's
why. I know that's why they're doing it, but I still feel it's unfair for the legitimate people who don't want to sell their house.
Well, I admit, I don't like it right now because, if it happened right now, I would be very upset because I'm in the need to do a transfer.
Yeah.
But I totally understand it, and I'm kind of on board with it just for the fact that they have to do what they can to stop that kind of stuff from happening. And this is the only thing that they have at their disposal that they could do to prevent
I
it.
still deep down disagree with the whole one house per account. I think it should be one house per character.
I agree with you there too, because
Or let us friend our alts.
Yeah.
Okay, serious. No, not even friend your alts. They need to straight up let us have like alts automatically have access without even taking up a spot on your friend, on your shared house. They are only allowing us to have one house. But and I swear to you, at one point they even said that they were gonna at some point implement the feature where accounts can share the houses if they did take away, the option for you being able to buy more than one house, so basically all houses are homeless.
Now,
But they haven't done that yet. They just like that never happened, slipped another day, and yet they fixed the little situation that lets you friend your alt, which makes me very angry.
yeah, I mean,
And I think
it's not difficult. There are plenty of like games out there that have like a lower budget and less to it. Like the old Phantasy Star Universe game had a box, and even more relevant, Borderlands. Borderlands has a box,
Diablo,
and it's limited that you could share between characters.
yeah, Diablo too. A lot of games do that. So I don't know why. I know exactly why they're doing it, and I know what you're gonna say, but it's the truth. They want you to spend more money on retainers. They're all about that money. That's why they really do it. So you can spend more money on retainers.
Well, I'm not going to argue that.
Well, I've seen hardcore players have like 8 retainers or some shit.
Not even
9.
hardcore.
10.
Most people in
10 if you get the premium. You can get 9 retainers basic, but you can get a 10th one if you get the premium subscription to the companion app.
Yeah. And I'm sure people have that. But like in general, it's like, like even now, hardcore, like people who don't even craft have 9 retainers. And I'm like, why do you have so many retainers? I just ask myself that, like, I understand why I would, because I'm a hoarder and I have, I'm a crafting whore. But like some people, like, they don't even need to have, they literally just don't get rid of like gear and stuff. And it's like, great.
Wow.
Can you imagine the inventory management, like having to clear out all the inventory? Take you all day.
Yeah,
From my experience on how I've been able to get my guild built up, I personally would do that many retainers because there'd just be more items coming in that you can sell. But yeah, it's not worth it.
No,
because that's an extra $14 a month. That's like a whole new subscription, basically.
Exactly. Like
You
I
might
only
as well get a new subscription.
Yeah, as is, I paid for 3 extra retainers. But if I didn't have some of my friend that I'd be having like 9 retainers, and I'd be super packed. I'd literally spending like over $30 a month, which is like not even realistic. Nobody wants because and that's adding up to like $300+ a year. Oh, more than that.
We both had 5 retainers each, but then we knocked it down one because I was like, just
We were a
to
little
cut
bit more
the
hard
cost
up
a little.
money back then too.
Yeah, but I mean, in general, you shouldn't have to buy. They shouldn't make you have to pay for more retainers. I mean, like, give us more inventory at least. Make the retainers have like an extra 100 space or something. That's just my
I
opinion.
do forget to use my saddlebag. I forget. That
Oh,
it's there
my
half the time.
saddlebag is full of sale too. I need to actually
My
dump out some of
saddlebag is full on Alistair.
I don't even remember what's in mine. I remember there were some things I was looking for, some crafting materials, when I was doing the submarine part, and I was like, oh shit, I have like half the shit I need in my saddlebag.
Yeah, my
I
saddlebag is usually like mainly like fishing stuff and like fireworks and stupid stuff like that. But it's how
Yeah, my saddlebag is typically like alternative game currencies, like from raids and stuff, or and fishing tackle.
Yeah, fishing. I usually put my like alternative like money currencies and stuff in my first container. Like a lot of the untradeable items that you get from different things. That's why I keep in my first container.
So yeah, as I said, now that it's recorded, it's official. I called it to become one.
Perfect timing. And with
Well,
with all that being said, even though I didn't hear a word of it, that is the end of our episode. And I'm looking forward to Endwalker eventually. And I know you guys are excited because I saw the little things going off on here. So.
Cyrus Endwalker 2023.
Real. That's right, damn it. I will be there.
I'm back.
And until next time, gamers, don't forget to keep on
Leveling up.
Leveling down.
No!
damn it, never.
Game over.
Final Fantasy 11 reference. What can I say?
Terrible.
Leveling up.
Thank you. Yay.